Thank you for clicking on this video, and as we turn the calendar over to a new year, let's do a Twins year-end thing plus 2023 outlook, also a channel update. How does that sound? We're going to cover lots of bases here. First off, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you so much for clicking on so many videos throughout the year. A toast, raising a toast, a New Year's Day toast to you all. And a cheers with my Twins dugout mug. Not sponsored, by the way. Thinking back to about a year about this time, everything sucked. Everything sucked. I've basically pushed this out of my memory. How long and how crappy this was. The lockout, man. The lockout. We won't dwell on this long. But, man, that was in the moment, not knowing whether they were going to have a season, whether we're going to have a shortened season. That was rough. That was a really rough time. The Byron Buxton extension right before the lockout. It's kind of fascinating to think about now how different things might have turned out. What a different path this organization may have taken had that deal not gotten done. I think they're trading Byron Buxton if he doesn't sign that extension. And again, that may have set off a course of domino effect that it's almost impossible to predict what they would have done. It could have been so much different the last 12 months. And of course, once that lockout lifted in March, all the way in March, crazy to think of that. The Twins got down to business and they were incredibly active. Of course, the biggest move, the Carlos Correa signing, that saga kind of is continuing at this point. I don't know. But the reason why it was so frustrating last season was they were out in front. They were out in front. Whenever your team's out in front early, tries to go for it. You know, credit. I loved that move from the front office to try to supplement this team at the trade deadline. Even though I'm a prospects guy, we spend a lot of time on this channel sharing minor league highlights, talking about the prospects. But it all boils down to success at the major league level. I loved it. Unfortunately, nothing worked out. Now, obviously, there were a lot of, depth issues that really sunk the Twins. We're not just going to say it was all in the stars and it completely just was out of their control. No, certainly there were some things they could have done, and I think something that's going to stick with me for a very long time. Hopefully, we'll see. Again, this front office is hard to predict. But I think we are going to see Joe Ryan, Jose Miranda, and Yohan Duran on this team for a very long time. And those three guys were all rookies this year. That is the biggest takeaway to me. This incredible rookie class that they had. All three of these guys are huge bright spots. I'm really excited about their futures. In addition to that very impressive rookie class, Luis Arraez is another bright point. Obviously really shines from the past year. Not just the batting title, which is obviously an accomplishment in himself, a nice race, a fun race to watch all the way down to the end, but just having a great year and really stepping up once again where the Twins needed him, sliding over to first base with Miguel Sano being hurt and that kind of situation taking care of itself, I guess, opening a door there. He stepped in and without really being sort of a natural fit at first base, without having any experience there, he really played well, all things considering. So, obviously, the batting title is the big takeaway, is the thing we'll remember. But Luis Arraez was also just so much more valuable to the team beyond just that, and he had a great year. Let's look ahead to 2023. And, there's so much yet to be determined. At this point, it seems a little bit foolish to even try to forecast things. But Zips, Dan Szymborski of Fangraphs projection system, has the Twins at 81-81, exactly 500, but one game out of the division lead in the AL Central. One game out of the AL Central. And I think that is the main thing that is so frustrating to be a Twins fan right now, is that it's not that it's hopeless, actually. It actually would be less frustrating if it was hopeless, I think. This team needs to treat this like they are a game out. The early moves, Christian Vasquez, I think, is a very nice signing. The second best catcher available on the free agent market. They needed catching pretty bad. I think that's a very nice signing. Joey Gallo, I like him a lot. Like outside of the context of the Twins, I really like Joey Gallo. And as sort of a bounce back, buy low candidate, but it just doesn't make any sense for the Twins. There's a lot of time. Again, there's not a lot of free agents left. There's a lot of time between now and opening day. We'll see what happens, but right now, and this comes after a year in which they were basically a 500 team. They're also projecting to be a 500 team. So if Twins fans in general, we seem a little pissy about it, it's because the division is right there for the taking. I mean, imagine, like if you are the Marlins or the Diamondbacks or some team that's in a division with just a bunch of monster teams, You can't even pick an AL East team anymore because they're all formidable. All 5 of them. But imagine if one of those teams could be in the AL Central. How much they would appreciate the opportunity to have such an open door, such a clear path. This is a window in which they could dominate the AL Central. It has been for a minute here, and they just have not taken advantage. I think any Twins fan that's frustrated has every right to be, but also at the same time, like, there's a lot to be excited about going into 2023. And then the last thing, just from a personal note, state of the channel, really happy. This past year, 800,000 views. That's a 42% increase from the year prior. Almost 40,000 hours of watch time. That's the one that really blows my mind. 40,000 hours of watch time nearly. That is an 84% increase over last year. I love that on this channel. I am currently not feeling any pressure to do stuff just to try to make it successful. Every video I make, I'm making it because I want to make it. And that is the dream. The membership thing is really helping with that, no doubt. This can't really be my full-time thing. So this has to be something I enjoy. This has to be something that's fun. This has to be something I'm passionate about. Thanks so much for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. Again, cheers. Let's all have a great 2023 World Series. World Series, babies. Twins World Series in 2023.